What's going on YouTube? It is your boy JoshXBarber back with another surgical transformation. You guys do not want to miss out on this video. If you guys are new to my channel and you're not subscribed, please make sure you guys go down and smash that subscribe button and turn the notification bell on so you guys don't miss out on any new drops. So before I cut any bulk, I want to make sure that I comb or pick out the hair to get it lifted up off the scalp so I can get a more efficient cut. So we're going to be knocking this fro down to a number 2 guard with the grain, and we're going to have the lever all the way closed. And you guys want to make sure that you follow the natural hair pattern. Most of the time that's the way that our client likes to brush their hair, so I want to make sure that I cut his hair how he brushes it. Whenever I'm taking down any bulk, I ensure that I go over every area of the head more than once, just to make sure that I have all the hair cut evenly. I don't want to leave any dark spots or any areas of hair that's not cut evenly with the rest of the head. So I'm going to be giving my client a mid taper today. I'm using my Babyliss Snap FX trimmer to set in my bald line to get this fade started on the side taper. So right after setting in my bald line, I come in with my Babyliss clippers with the lever all the way open, and I go about a ½ inch, setting in my next guideline. And as I'm setting that in, I'm going to close the lever all the way closed and just hit the bottom of the guideline. Then I'm going to open it 1 notch from closed to fade it out. Once that is faded out, I come in with my number 1 guard with the lever all the way open, and I set in my next guideline, going up about another ½ inch. And I want to make sure that I go over it a couple times just to make sure the whole guideline is cut evenly. And then right after that, I'm going to drop down to the number 1 guard with the lever all the way closed, start up under that guideline and just flick up towards it, and you're going to see it kind of soften up. And then right after that, I'm going to come in with my half guard, starting at the bottom of that guideline that we created with the number 1 guard open. And we're just going to have it closed all the way, and we're just going to start up under the guideline and just flick up to the guideline, and it'll blend right out. So I'm going to fade down for the rest of the side taper. I have my number 3 guard right here, setting in our foundation to get our fade to blend right into that number 2 guard with the grain on top. And since we're fading down, I'm going to come right behind that number 3 guard with our number 2 guard with the lever all the way open. And I'm just going to flick right up into that guideline that you guys can see right here. And that's where we're going to be fading out to get this blend to come out right. So after I'm done with the number 2 guard with the lever open, I close it, and then we're going to just keep fading down from there. Whenever I'm fading down, I always start off the next guard with the lever open first before closing it. So right here I have the number 2 guard closed, and then I'm going to come right behind it right here with that 1½ guard with the lever all the way open, and we're just going to soften up that guideline coming right behind that number 2 guard, not going up as high though. And we're just going to keep fading down, and then I'm going to drop down and close the lever all the way closed, and you're just going to see it blend more and more each guard that we go down to. As you guys can see, this blend is coming right together. Right here I have my number 1 guard on with the lever all the way open, coming right behind that 1½ guard area that we just left off. And right here I'm just going to be doing a lot of detail work to kind of bring this fade all the way together. Because pretty much we're done with all the steps. Now we just have to go in and take out any dark areas using our smaller guards, or coming in with my razor comb, as you guys can see right here. So now that we're done with the side taper, we're going to move right into the neck taper. We're going to make sure that we set in this bald line evenly across to make sure that our neck taper fade is balanced, because we have more room to work with, and we want to make sure that it's level all the way across. So right after setting in that bald line, I'm going to come in with my Babyliss clippers with the lever all the way open with no guard on, setting in our next guideline, going up about a ½ inch, and want to make sure that the width is the same all the way across. Then we're going to drop down to the lever all the way closed, and we're just going to hit the bottom of the guideline to soften it, and then open it up 1 notch from closed just to blend it right out, and it's perfect. And for our next guideline on the neck taper, I have my number 1 guard on with the lever all the way closed, and we're going to go about another ½ inch. And like I said, making sure that the guideline, the width of it is the same all the way across. That's going to help keep our fade balanced. And taking out this guideline is pretty simple. It was the number 1 guard closed. So we just come back with that half guard with the lever all the way closed, start up under the guideline and flick up to it, and it'll blend it right out. Similar to how we did the side taper, I'm going to be fading down again. So I'm starting with my number 3 guard with the lever all the way closed, just to get that foundation built so we can fade down and blend it right into the bulk on top effortlessly. Coming right behind the number 3 guard, I have my number 2 guard with the lever all the way open. And like I said, we're fading down. So as I'm going down in guard sizes, I'm not going up as high as I did with the previous guard, because we're fading down. So we still have to create a transition. So I'm going down in guards, but not going up as high in the fade. And I'm going to end off this area with the number 2 guard closed to prepare it for our next guard. So for our next step, I have my 1.5 guard on, but this time I have it all the way closed. Sometimes I usually start with it open, but the texture on the back of his neck, I felt like the number 1.5 guard closed, which is more efficient for me. So I did the 1.5 closed. And then right after the 1.5 closed, I'm going to come back with the 1 guard with the lever all the way open. So pretty much on the neck taper, so far I'm done with all the steps. I still have a couple dark areas that I'm going to work on fading out. So right here, you're just going to see me doing a lot of detail work throughout the rest of this neck taper to get it to blend how I want it to. And I'm just sit back and let you guys watch this until we get to our next step. You guys, this is why it's so necessary that you understand that you have to do detail work, because sometimes you can have a complete fading system and the fade just doesn't come out how you thought it would, depending on the client's hair texture, or maybe you just didn't get a good fade, or the system just didn't flow right. You always have to make sure that you know your guards to come back and clean it up. So we're done with the side tapers and the neck taper. We're gonna taper his beard, and we're gonna knock it down right here, as you guys can see, with a number 2 guard. Later in the video, I knocked it down actually to a 1.5, just to get his chin hair to match more with his side profile, just to make it blend a little bit more. It just naturally grew thicker at the bottom, but no worries. Right now we're just tapering his beard so we can get a good fade on it. Nothing too crazy. His hair isn't too long, so the biggest guard I'm going to use on the beard is the 1.5 guard open, and I'm just going to fade up from that, walking down in each guard size until I get a nice taper on it. So we're done with all the fading, and we've gotten to one of my favorite parts of the video, which is the lineup. This is going to be so therapeutic. It's going to just start to bring this haircut together all the way. You seen how he was when he walked in, but after we get done with this lineup and we do some more finishing touches, this cut is going to be so amazing. So I'm going to sit back and let you guys just watch this lineup process. And also, I almost forgot to tell you guys, if you guys see how his hair is laid down even more and his waves are popping a little bit more, that's because I added some wrapping foam, and I applied a do-rag with some hot air, and that just laid his hair down for me. Especially with the hairline, it helps when his hair is laid down, because it pulls all the straight hairs to the front and gives it a more crispier natural line. You guys, I was so happy that I was able to capture this moment of bringing this client back to life. You guys seen him when he first walked in. He definitely needed it. And look at how these wall trimmers are like just showing up on his neckline. Like, it's going crazy. You guys already seen the front line. The neckline is like my favorite part, honestly, because like it's just so therapeutic, especially when I'm going around the ear and the client's hair is just super thick around there. As you guys can see, it's just so defined. But we're almost done with this cut, you guys. This lineup process is just like one of my favorite parts. And for any of my full-time, barbers, make sure you guys always ask your clients what they want to do with like their facial hair, because a lot of times clients tell me that people just kind of do what they want to do when it comes to like their beard or just in general with the cuts. Just always be like selective on what you do. Always ask your clients first, but you can always suggest stuff to people, but just kind of see what they're going for, because sometimes people have a certain look that they like to keep. Y'all seen the cut was fresh and crispy without the enhancements, but we had to add like a nice little pop to it. So right here I'm using my semi-permanent enhancement spray just to add a nice pop to the cut, to take it to the next level. Man, this thing coming out nice. I can't wait to show you guys the before and after. This client came in looking rough. As you guys can see right here, I'm applying my holding spray on top of the enhancements. Then I'm going to come behind it with the blow dryer on some cool air just to get it to lock in good. Right after I apply enhancements and holding spray, I like to brush the hairline down a little bit and go over the lining one more time just to ensure all the loose hairs and the enhancements and everything is just all lined up with each other perfectly, and I make sure that the line is just exactly how I want it. It looks so crispy, man. I'm about to show you guys the before and after we finish cleaning them up with a little bit more detail work. Right here I'm just using my razor just to get that beard a little bit sharper. And you guys, using a razor on the facial hair is beneficial to your clients because it gives them a little bit more time to work with before the hair actually starts to grow back quickly, because usually the facial hair is one of the first signs that starts looking rough. Well, you guys, this is the before. This is how my client looked when he first walked in. He came in and said, man, you got to get me right. And y'all know we delivered. But without further ado, you guys, this is the cut. No lie, this cut came out pressure. Let me know what you guys think about this cut in the comments, and make sure you guys leave a thumbs up on the video. And if you guys are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please make sure you guys go down and smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell. And you guys can follow me on all platforms at JoshXBarber. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.